What's up, everybody? This is Zach, joined along with
Robbie Rolls.
Robbie. We went and watched a movie tonight.
Yes, we did. It was a better movie than what you anticipated.
Yeah, we went and watched Ant-Man, and if you listen to one of the previous...
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks from Tuesday.
Yes.
Episode, we discussed Ant-Man and how I thought it could be potentially the first
Marvel flop
of, that since Marvel's been doing anything. And I'm happy to say that I am wrong. I was wrong. It is not a dud, and I enjoyed the movie a lot. What did you think?
Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought that, Marvel did a bang up job again, and I definitely liked how they didn't use that mold for all the other Marvel movies.
The tried and true mold that has been used
They
kind
of did what they did with Guardians. They added that humor.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have the soundtrack that Guardians did, but they had the humor. And Paul Rudd's character, Paul Rudd himself, I mean, he cannot not be in a movie that doesn't have a
humor
hint
in it.
of humor in it.
And I think they utilize Paul Rudd's abilities as a comedic actor,
And quirkiness. Like, he had that quirk. Like, when they were... Like, when they were in, like, this intense talk with them, and he was like, "Oh, that was awesome." He's like, "Oh, did I just interrupt?"
Just ruin the mood or whatever, And just that right there, just being able to be himself, because in my mind, that's how Paul Rudd acts.
Yeah.
But the Ant-Man suit looked awesome. The powers looked really cool. They made Ant-Man seem cooler than you would think.
What you thought? Like, I know, like, for the not so in-depth comic book readers and stuff like that, Ant-Man was kind of, how can they make a guy that shrinks and can control ants cool?
Yeah.
And, like, I know they did a lot of with him in animated series, and Ant-Man was cool. Like, I grew up thinking Ant-Man was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And you never really thought that watching a movie that you can get emotionally connected to
an
ants.
Ant. Yeah,
So,
Antone. But, just being able to see him, because I've always seen it like with the Atom where he just stays small or whatever.
Yeah.
But with Ant-Man, him going back and forth between big and small, to make bigger punches or, do different things was really interesting visually.
Oh, yeah.
And it just super, super cool in that way. And all the different ants that he used to...
Like, you had the fire ants. You had the ones that were, like, had that super potent venom. And
it was like 10 on the something's pain scale or whatever. Then you had ones that were the crazy ants that
can conduct electricity.
Yeah.
Like... He utilizes, like, different, like, species of ants, and, like, just being able to see all that, like, being brought into, like, a movie, it was just awesome to see, and I think Marvel did an outstanding job once again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the beginning of the movie was really interesting. It was, of course, Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, and it shows, it was, like, 1989, and it showed him
Best
where
year.
he was...
That's when I was born.
1990 is the best year. But anyway, it shows him going into his company or whatever, and someone's trying to recreate the Ant-Man formula.
It's the Pym particle.
The Pym particle, whatever. And you get to see, of course, the beautiful and lovely Agent Carter.
Yes, that was actually really cool.
That was, like, just that little hint. It wasn't much, but it was just enough to, keep her involved with the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome thing to do because the Agent Carter series was great. And just seeing her being there was really cool. But they tie in a lot of things, Hank Pym, of course, created the Ant-Man suit, and then you had the Wasp, which was his wife. Mm-hmm. And, it just had that element that was in there that has a little bit of a mystery to it.
Yeah.
But the comedic value, his friend, Lewis, he added to the movie in a very unique way. Only that actor, I don't know his name. I've seen him in several movies. Yeah. He adds that flavor to it.
I can say that, like, I could tell, this part because it was in the free preview for the Xbox when he's in the van and like it just opens up on that funny part, like in the prison, and then he gets in the van and he's like, oh, this happened and this happened and this happened. Hey, but I got in the van. He's like, well, that's the bright side of looking at things.
Yeah.
So that comedic value from the cast in general, because even Michael Douglas, who was the more serious person, like when they were all working together, like him and the three friends, he's like, we're screwed. We're all going to die.
Exactly. And
So,
the whole plot, like, they don't really explain it in the previews, which is totally fine, and I'm not going to ruin anything right here. But once you get into it, it makes more sense.
yes.
And I think the yellow jacket looked really cool. I think
definitely.
the design, whoever designed the outfit and everything, had a really good idea for it because it doesn't look corny or anything. It looks as awesome. Actually, looks. I thought it looked better than the Ant-Man suit.
It did because I mean, obviously, when you have something that glows yellow, shoots lasers, it's going to be cooler
and
than
it's the bad guy. You know, the bad guy usually looks better than the hero and everything.
Sometimes.
Plus, Ant-Man was an older
that suit was made in the late 80s.
Yeah,
and it was present day.
Yeah,
in that,
but it still looks really cool, and how they explained how the powers worked. If you didn't have a helmet on, the chemicals could affect your brain and make you
go crazy
and everything. They covered a lot of bases in there, and they have a lot of things that was really cool to see. I'm not going to ruin it, but one fight in general was just so
awesome.
amazing.
And like I loved how they threw in all the theories of the particles and the atoms and like shrinking like so subatomical, and like it was just
like if you turn off the regulator on the Ant-Man suit, that you would keep shrinking
indefinitely until you get into a whole nother universe.
I can't remember what the universe was called, but it
multiverse.
No, not the multiverse. Multiverse is actually DC.
I know. I was just
joking.
It was a joke.
But it explains a lot of things. Hope was an interesting character. We saw her actually develop throughout the movie.
Yes.
Because she came off very cold in the beginning.
Like you thought that she hated her father.
Yeah.
And everything. And like it just like as you notice things are going and you're like, oh, okay, I understand what's going on. And how they mend bridges and everything. Everything just plays out so perfectly in this movie. And like I said earlier, I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
So, in a wrap up state, 1 out of 10, what would you rank this movie?
I would give it about a 9, something like that.
I was thinking 9.5, because like I mean, no movie is ever going to get
never be perfect.
Hardly.
But my thing is, if you want something that's going to have action and comedy at the same time, this is definitely the summer movie that you want to go watch, because it has all of that in one. And of course, it's going towards the bigger Marvel universe that has so far made no mistakes. And I'm glad to say that this was not another mistake.
And I'm loving how everything is just always tying into it, because they even made a reference to the Age of Ultron movie.
Yeah, they did. That was really cool.
And it's just like even with the TV series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all these other Thor, like the Phase 2 and everything, everything's just like playing off of these other movies. And whenever you're able to tie all those movies together, it's an awesome experience.
It just goes to show you that having someone that's actually helming the ship, like Kevin Feige, Feige is his name. Having that person in charge, making sure that this movie is tying into this, and this is tying in this, and this has strings attached to this other movie, is just amazing.
And also having like in-depth knowledge of the Marvel universe, like you said, just it helps everything flow. And like he said, guys, this is I classify this as a must-see film.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that is going to be something you need to go watch. And coming from someone that 2 weeks ago I said this was possibly the first Marvel dud, that's a big statement.
So I guess that means me and Derek were right.
I said possible. I was hoping that it was working out. But definitely go watch Ant-Man. It's in theaters now. It came out today, so you can find that at any local theater. I'm sure that it's there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so, go support Marvel. And
always
all the
support Marvel.
If you want superhero movies to continue, you have to go buy the ticket.
Exactly.
You know, don't wait to go watch Ant-Man. Go watch it now, or something's going to be ruined.
Yep.
And the end credit scenes were
there's two.
Yeah, there's two.
I hate seeing people get up in a Marvel movie. It's
it's like, what are you doing? Are you dumb? But the first one was more of about Ant-Man, and then the second one kind of leads into Civil War. I'm not going to give away anything, so you can experience, but definitely check that out.
But we know a guy.
Yeah, we know a guy. There you go.
You'll understand once
you go watch it, you'll know what we were talking about. But please like, share, comment. What did you think of the Ant-Man movie? Have you already seen it? And if you have, let us know what you thought.
You can find us all. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Tumblr, all that good stuff. So just search Nerd Cave Network.
Yep, and you can find all of our content and articles on nerdcavenetwork.com. And this has been Zach.
And Robbie.
Have a week.